Hi, Cathy, Neptune here, and welcome to my kitchen. Tonight we're kind of saying goodbye to summer and transitioning into an early fall feast. I think you're going to love these recipes. And thank you so much to everybody who writes in with your questions and comments. It's so nice to hear from you. I think we're going to start out with our pasta dish. We're doing a pasta bundt cake. Yep, you heard it right. Pasta bundt cake. I love to use and repurpose some of the tools you might have in your kitchen. And this is a great way to use something that you probably already have, a cake pan. And you can see we've sprayed it liberally so that it doesn't stick. This is a stoneware one, and I love these because they cook evenly. So we're going to start out here in a large mixing bowl, and we have 3 eggs that I've put in here. And while that's setting there, I'm going to take a whole pound of pasta that we've cooked, just regular spaghetti, and I'm going to drain this. This is kind of warm. You don't want it too hot, but we're just going to drain that. And again, use the whole box of pasta for this. So it's no measuring here. So I'm going to just take this over and let that drain quickly. Let that set there for a minute, and I'm going to whisk these eggs, just slightly mix. These are 3 large eggs. And I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half of regular salt because you want to season as you go. So I'm going to do a teaspoon and a half of regular salt and a little bit of pepper, ground pepper, exactly approximately 992 pieces of pepper that are in there. And then I like to use a little flavored seasoning as well, your favorite kind. This has a blend of Italian herbs. And then to this, and you want to mix all this together so that it mixes into your pasta. We're going to put our pasta in here. So you want it to be all blended evenly, as evenly as possible. A cup and a half of whole milk that's room temperature. And I always like to have my eggs and milk and things I'm going to blend and bake in the oven at room temperature. It makes a huge difference in your cooking time and your end results as well. You'll find it cooks more evenly. And to this mixture, I'm going to add, it looks like a lot of cheese because it is. It's got about, in this bowl, a cup and a half of an Italian blended cheese, which is your provolone, Parmesan, Asiago, and then a cup and a half of cheddar cheese and a cup of Asiago. So we're going to blend that in, and you can see it's not terribly heavy because we're going to add the pasta to this. I'm going to put it in this bowl. So I'm bringing over our warm pasta, putting it in here, and you want a large bowl, as you can see, because you need to mix it all. And, oops, that's okay. Don't look. We're going to blend this up and put it into our bowl, and my oven is preheating at 425 degrees, and I like having the pasta warm and the eggs at room temperature so they mix together. And this is all going to blend in. It's kind of like a big mac and cheese. And we're going to serve this with a pasta sauce on the side. And it only takes about 25 minutes for it to cook. And wait until you see the presentation. I just think it's a lot of fun. This would be great if you have teenagers and they want to carb up with a lot of pastas and full meal. It serves probably 1 to 2 teenagers with all of this. So we're going to take this, and you have the salt and seasonings in there. And you can see we're pretty well incorporating everything in here. And I think that's going to be great. And then we're going to put it into this pan as carefully as we can over the top. Oh, hi, Eileen. I have guests this evening, Eileen and Ian, who are going to try this out.
That looks wonderful.
Isn't this a great idea? I don't know who thinks these things up, but I think this is going to be nice.
I think it's Cathy.
It's fun to do. And press it down just a little. And the egg is going to solidify in here and cook and kind of keep everything together, much like a frittata would be. And Eileen, you had a question about the pasta?
Oh, yes.
This is Eileen.
Hi. Is the pasta the only kind you can put in there? Can you put like rigatoni or maybe a vegetable pasta?
You know, I like the idea of a vegetable pasta. And you can do, you mean instead of spaghetti?
Instead of spaghetti.
What different types? You know what it'd be? That's a great question. I could do like a bow tie pasta, a penne pasta, rigatoni, the spiral sliced pastas. I think it'd look beautiful. That's a great idea. I would do that. And you could make it look different every time you make it. And if your family has a special kind that they like, I certainly would use it. Good question. So we're going to put this into the oven for about 30 minutes on 425 degrees. And we're good to go. And to go with that, we're going to be right back. I'm going to gather all the ingredients. I'm going to make my famous turkey meatballs with a little twist to it. I think you're going to like it. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. We have our Pasta Bundt Cake cooking in the oven for 30 minutes. And I'm going to make some meatballs. And I've heard from many of you that you like turkey meatballs. They're lighter, they're healthier, but that they come out a little dry and a little bit tough. So I'm going to share my secret that I use, and I think you're going to love them. Remember, you can use this mixture too for meatloaves or even burgers. They're really, really good. And I'm starting here with a pound of ground turkey, whatever variety that you like. And inside here, I also have some chicken sausage that it's sweet Italian sausage that I've taken out of the casing. And there's 3 of those to 1 pound of your ground turkey meat. It just gives it a nicer flavor and it adds a little more depth to it. So in this package, I'm going to add, and I'm doing this in a plastic bag so you don't have to get your hands in there and work it with your hands. It's just easier. And if you wanted to do this ahead of time, you could store it in here overnight in the refrigerator. So I'm adding 2 eggs in there and a little bit of breadcrumbs, probably 2/3 cups of any kind of breadcrumbs. If you have them in the freezer, that's good too. A little bit of milk, and I like to add this on top of the breadcrumbs just to moisten them. Because remember, turkey is very lean, and that's a good thing. But you have to add some kind of fat in there, and this is the way I do it. With the little milk, you can add some. And look at this is seasoned and sauteed carrots, about 2/3 of a cup of carrots, and about 1/2 cup of shredded zucchini. And that's shredded carrots and shredded zucchini. And I cook that in olive oil, which again is healthier, and it adds a little bit of fat and flavor to your mixture. Again, some seasoning. This is a seasoned salt. It has a great blend to it. Probably about a teaspoon for a pound of meat. And remember, you've seasoned all your carrots and zucchini as they were sauteing in the pan. And you just squish all the air out, and this is the fun part. And we're going to make meatballs. Oh, Ian, this is my other guest. Ian. Hi, Ian. Thanks for being with us tonight. Yeah, you had a question.
Yes, I had a question. I assume you can do this with sausage or chicken or...
Yeah, to add to the Bundt pan. Yeah, this is a good idea too because if your family likes sausage, for example, you could, instead of the meatballs, you could do an Italian sausage or a sweet sausage, whatever you prefer. And I would cook it ahead of time and then serve it. We're going to put these in the oven and brown them, and you could do the same as the Bundt cake is working. And do that in the oven and brown the sausage. Or do you like chicken marsala?
Yeah.
That would be a beautiful protein to serve with this too. And in the presentation, you know how a Bundt pan has the hole in the middle of the cake when you turn it upside down? That's where we're going to present the meatballs or your sausage or chicken masala. Do you like shrimp too, Ian?
Yes, that's
How about a nice shrimp scampi in the center? That would be amazing. And I certainly would make this for a company dish too. This would be really spectacular. So as you can see, all the meat here is cold, and we're just going to take it and scoop it out, my little scoop, onto the sheet pan. We're going to pop these in the oven. How fast and easy is this? Let me put it over here. It makes it easy, you know, and the turkey is so moist. Yeah, and it's all, you can see how moist this is. Yeah, it's a whole, it tastes like a chicken pot pie. It really does. And you're not going to notice, you're going to see the texture on this. They are so good. So good. And you can make little patties out of this. And if you have anything left over here, you pop the whole thing in the freezer and you're ready to go. Just label and put the date on it, and you can make meatballs in no time.
Can I take a little smell of that?
Yeah, sure.
Cathy, can I take a little smell of that?
What do you think, Ian?
Yummy. I
A
love my
lot of
veggies.
flavors in here, yeah.
Wow.
So look at how nice. You can make any size meatball. Excuse me, but I think this is a good serving size. And sometimes when I do the meat patties, you can roll them in a little bit of breadcrumbs to make them crusty on the outside.
Cathy,
Yes.
did you grease your pan that the meatballs go in?
No, it's a non-stick pan.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see it's just flat like this.
Flat like that, you just pop it in.
Yeah, and you could do, put a little Parmesan cheese in here, but the pasta had so much cheese in it. I think this is probably a good way to go, but feel free. Omit some of the salt because Parmesan cheese is very salty, but Parmesan in here is excellent flavor value. You get a lot of mileage out of a little Parmesan because it is so salty. So we're going to put this into the oven along with our pasta dish. It's looking good, right?
It's looking fabulous.
Okay, we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. We've got our meatballs, turkey meatballs, cooking in the oven along with our pasta cake, bundt cake. And I thought we'd do an appetizer while that's cooking. And we're going to do a burrata, a rendition of a burrata. So basically, it's a pesto sauce. You all know what pesto is. And I've made some with the pesto from my garden. And it's got a beautiful green color and olive oil, a lot of garlic, Parmesan cheese. And instead of traditional pine nuts, I do toasted walnuts in here for a thickener. And it's just, it just smells like an Italian pizza shop and all that's good from your garden. And then the burrata portion of this is going to be a fresh mozzarella, any type that you like, that we're going to put in here. Oops, in the bottom of the plate, first of all, I'm going to put some of this wonderful pesto. And I like to put a little bit here and then a little bit on the side here so people could add their own. And then a beautiful dome of the fresh mozzarella. And I'm going to take some cherry tomatoes because I'm always looking for color. And we're just going to slice these. And you can do quarters or pieces. And look at how beautiful this looks. It says, goodbye summer, hello fall, but we still have plenty of tomatoes that are in the season. And why not use what you have in your garden? And you could do any kind of tomato that you have in the store. I like Roma tomatoes for something like this. And slice those and put them on the plate. And then some beautiful bread, ciabatta bread, that I've grilled on our grill pan. And a beautiful piece of fresh basil on the top. Look at how pretty that is. That's a great first course introduction from my kitchen to yours. And give that a try. You're going to absolutely love this. A little pesto on the side. By the way, you can freeze pesto. So if you have an abundance of basil, in your kitchen. Do this, make it in ice cube trays if you'd like smaller portions, and then you pop them out, put them in your soups, in your sauces. It's outstanding with grilled shrimp on top of plain pasta, or on our bun pan that we're making this evening out of fresh or boxed pasta. It would be a great, great colorful addition to that as well. We're going to get grilling with our peach shortcakes, and I have the grill going, so we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I'm going to heat up our pasta sauce to go with our bundt cake. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Ian. Go for it, Ian.
Well, let me show you an easy way to open a bottle like this. You got an elastic band?
A rubber band?
A rubber band?
Like this?
Yeah. Just put it on there. See, you get an easy grip there. There we go.
Don't make it look so easy. That is great. Oh, good to know, Ian. So this is a good thing. I love it. I love it. So always have an elastic in your kitchen. Ian went to elastic school. I think that's great. And Eileen, would you mind pouring this into this little bowl, the black and white one there? Because you want a cover on there. Have a seat and be comfortable. And that's going to be our dipping sauce. And, oh, that looks good. Get your favorite marinara sauce. You can make homemade, but they make it so good now. And we're doing grilled peaches. And I have pound cake that I brushed with melted butter. And I put grill marks on it. So that's going to be our base. And I'm taking the peach, because they're in season now, and they've been so good this year. Twist it around, and we're going to take the pit out, like so. And then on the bottom, I have here some melted butter. And I'm just going to brush the peach half with melted butter. And I have my grill pan heating. And then I'm going to put this peach cut side down so you get a sugar glaze like so. And we're going to put that right on your hot grill and serve it over this grilled pound cake. And Eileen, you had a question about the fruit.
Oh, yes. Well, peaches sounds really good, but with fall coming, how about, can we use apples?
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, you can do. You might have to cook them a little bit longer if you want them soft. If you want a little texture to it, then you just want to get the browning effect so that everything is grilled on here. The peaches are, the apples would be, and the pound cake. But how about another stone fruit too? Do you like nectarines?
Love nectarines.
Nectarines, plums, and what I love about this technique, if you know how sometimes you get plums that are hard or they're not ripe, but you put them on a grill and they soften them and bring them to a whole nother level where the caramelization kind of puts you around that whole thing that they're not really that ripe, but you get that grilled flavor to it too. So it's a good way to go around fruit that might not be ripe, or if it's overripe, it does the same thing. It draws your attention to the grilling flavor rather than the status of the ripeness of the fruit. So plums, peaches, I think cherries would be a stretch, but you could do any kind of fruit, nectarines. They have apricots would be great. Now they have a cross between a plum and an apricot, a plumquat they call it, which is really pretty amazing. So you can get all those different combinations, and it's fun to try. Imagine doing a whole platter like this and putting them out with your grilled pound cake right in the middle and have everybody do mix and match their own. It's just a great presentation. And it doesn't take very long. We just want to take and move your peaches over so that you get a good hash mark on the bottom like so. And then I just take them and slice them, not all the way through, but in a fan design like so. And just fan them out like that and put them on top of your pound cake. And then I take a scoop of vanilla ice cream, your favorite kind. I mean, how bad is this? Put that over the top, neatly of course, and serve it in a beautiful dish. And there's your grilled peach shortcake.
Now, can you put raspberries on that?
Yep. You know what? I have some here on the side.
So you're going to do some
Yep.
raspberries on
Put it,
that.
so now you have a what? Peach Melba.
Melba. Wonderful.
See, I read your mind. That's a great, you guys are really good. You like to eat. I can tell you enjoy food. And that is end of summer on a dish. And the peaches have been so good this year. And when we come back, I'm going to pull out our Pasta Bundt Cake and do a final presentation. You're going to love this. We'll be right back. Take a look at our Pasta Bundt Cake. What a spectacular presentation. Our beautiful turkey meatballs. You've got to try this. And remember to email me if you want the recipes or the resources for these wonderful tools. But I bet you'd be surprised that you have most everything you need right there in your kitchen. And these here have a wonderful flavor. We have a beautiful sauce. Look at this. It's rich, it's colorful, and we're just going to pour it across the top like so and let the meatballs peek out. And what I would do is certainly take a beautiful plate and put a presentation sauce on the bottom. Let this set for a few minutes to settle so you can slice it very easily. Put it over your sauce that's on your plate and garnish with more meatballs if you'd like. And as always, I like to gild the lily with a little bit of fresh basil on the top. That is so colorful. You're going to love that recipe. Try these meatballs. Do the turkey meatball patties as well. Makes a wonderful meatloaf, and we've done this before on the show in a meatloaf format, but you're going to love that. And it's a great way to sneak in some veggies for the kids. And you can certainly, vary it up and do different veggies in there if you like spinach, if you like other kinds of squashes in there, change a little bit on your seasonings. Sometimes I've done grated, partially cooked potatoes in there. It's so versatile, and they're so delicious and moist, and that's the secret to getting veggies on your table is put them in the meatball, and that's a great way to go. A beautiful pesto burrata with grilled ciabatta bread, garnished with cherry tomatoes from the garden, and of course fresh basil. And a beautiful summer fruit grilled pound cake, and our grilled peaches, and to add a Melba flair, of course, the red raspberries. I want to thank you all for joining us here this evening. And remember to email me if you have your questions. I appreciate all your wonderful comments. You're so kind. Try these recipes for yourself and your family and your friends. You're going to love them. Thank you so much. Thank you to our guests, Eileen and Ian, for all your tips and questions. Well done. And thank you all for watching again. And may the fork be with you.